What's going on, everybody? It's Amster X back with another chapter review, and today we got Kagurabachi, chapter 129. And right off the rip, there's not much to get into. Let's just look at the beautiful paneling. Let's talk about the discourse that's been going around on Twitter, and let's just get out of here in one piece, you know? So let's just talk about it. So people are complaining that this is now going to be 5 chapters, this little backstory, but let's just get into it. That's like complaining, we're only 100 chapters in, I know, but we got the God's Valley backstory on One Piece, and that was over 10 chapters, I think, right? And it's like, duh, if something that is the monumental starting point of the whole series, of course it's going to be over 4 to 5 chapters. You can't just gloss over it. And I want the event to feel epic. This chapter, I when I was reading, I was like, oh, we're just doing this. But even when I was reading, I was like, damn, this shit feels epic and sad. Because you gotta remember, he's creating these swords because he has no choice, right? Because he's low, his insecurity is so low, right? He's insecure, and he knows that if I create this sword, it's devastating. But I have to prove that I can do something, right? And that's why even in the panel, he's like, it's always thrown in my face that how weak I am. Damn, dude, I just feel like that was beautiful. To me, that's beautiful. I absolutely love that. And then it's just shown in his eyes. Let's just get to it. So we knew we got the panel. It's just it's starting to burn. I love that. He's like, we're making the gods angry because they're taming this metal, this resource, the Datensky. And I just love that they're making this so dramatic, right? And then he goes I'm not worthy of her, but I gotta make this sword, right? So he says, and I even like the timestamp. The rain started to evaporate. It's so hot in there, right? It's so hot and everybody's like, we gotta get out of here. And then that's when they were like, we gotta contain this area because if this explodes, we won't be able to, too much damage. And then this is where he said it's been thrown in my face, how weak I am. His mom killing himself, his dad beating his mom. And then he's like, but there is hope though. No, and these panels are gorgeous. I don't know how people can sit here and say. And then they're talking about the Hiroshima incident where that was 4 chapters. And then, like I said, and then he says, I'll prove myself worthy of you. So that's really all we have, right? There was really not much in this chapter. That was literally it. But let's just go back to this discourse. So people were complaining that the Hiroshima incident was 4 chapters. This is now going to be 5 chapters. The sword will definitely be made next chapter. There's no doubt in my mind about that. But when there's a big, major, fundamental, piece of the story, right? This is vital. So of course it's going to be more than 4 and 5 chapters. And you want to build it up as if these are the turning points of the series. This is how Akimura gets his sword. And then how much power is being created from this. So Akimura has this nuke in his hands, and we know that in the future, and we need to see how this all comes to bat. I'm perfectly fine with 4 to 5 chapters. I know people are talking about TikTok brain, but it's I think a lot of new readers, Shonen Jump, is struggling. That's where I think another big problem is with Shonen Jump is the pacing, and that's been my biggest problem is that new series are moving slow, but they are moving too fast, and there's no way to win because this new generation that's reading wants just everything done in a chapter, and it's just not. That's just not how it works. I like slow build up. Slow build up. Yes, let me get so heavily invested in it that when the payoff is there, I'm like, that was worth it. There needs to be payoff, but you got to remember, TikTok generation, the payoff is there in 30 seconds. So if they're not getting the payoff in 30 seconds, then they're like, this is stupid, right? They need to be able to fill, and that's why, Netflix talks about it, you need to be able to watch the movie with your phone in your hand. And that's kind of where certain mangas are going, where even their dialogue is repeating over and over again so that people can keep up with it. So I don't know. I think we're seeing an overall dumbing down of manga, anime, just literature in general. And I think Kagurabachi is middle ground of that. I think there's been so much discussion on the characters, Kunoshige, Chiaki, and Kunoshige's mom, that I think that Hokuzono is like in a weird place where he's 100% Gen Z, right? Like I think he is like that age. I think he's like 24, 25 or something like that. Or whatever. He's he's Gen Z. What is that? Yeah, that's Gen Z. He's Gen Z, so he represents them. But at the same time, he's like not there because his writing is exponentially getting better, and he's trying to tell a story without saying much. And people are like, I don't like that. It's like, yo, you're not understanding his motivations and his I guess where he's going in his mind, where he's kind of trapping these characters, where they're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. And I like that. And I like that Hakuzono's making it clear it's not all black and white. But overall, I think this chapter was really good. I think we're going to see the sword being made next chapter. We don't know which one it will be, which would be dope. I'm excited to see how all the swords get made and how they're handed to the people. Like, I don't want them to just be like, yo, here. Like, I want them to take their time on this. Like, I feel like people want to... This is the story. Like, this is the main story. I don't want to rush over this. I want to see everybody get the sword individually. I want I want it to be a whole chapter 2 of them receiving the sword. This is how they go to the war. I want the war to be long. Like, don't rush this, Hakuzono. Somehow, if you're watching this video, please don't rush this. Take your time. You're already in the clear. You're 120. You got an anime coming out soon. Do not listen to these people. That's the same discourse we've seen on Attack on Titan. That the ending fumbled. Even the author apologized for it because he listened to people. When you're the one making the series, don't listen to anybody else. Keep doing your thing. I just love this series right now. It's like such a good. I'm not saying it's like a 10 out of 10, like one of the best series I've ever read, but it's just like a really good series. Like, it's going to be one of those ones where you're done and you're going to be like, yo, did you like you're always going to recommend your like Naruto's, right? Your One Pieces, your Bleaches even. But like, you'll be like, yo, did you watch Fullmetal Alchemist, Yu Yu Hakusho, things like that? You'll be like, yo, did you have time you should watch Kagurabachi. Like, it's going to always be in the top 10. I think it's going to be a top 10 of all time. I'm stamping it. I think it's going to be a top 10 of all time, like longevity, if it keeps going down this route. That's my hot take. Anime wise, not manga wise, anime wise. I think like it will be one of those ones where it will always be watched over and over again. Like one of those, like the Naruto's, where new people are still watching Naruto. I think Kagurabachi will be one of those where 30 years from now, people will still be watching Kagurabachi. But that's it. That's all I got. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Amster X out.